Okay, so let's dive right into this. We're going to be exploring a series of ancient, really powerful verses from a tradition called Kashmir Shaivism, and they all boil down to one fundamental question. What is the true nature of ourself?
Right out of the gate, the text just hit you with this bombshell of an idea, a total puzzle that seems to flip everything we think we know about, well, knowledge, completely on its head. Knowing is bondage. What in the world is that supposed to mean?
This question right here is our way in. It's the key. It's challenging us and me to look at the way we perceive everything, the very way we make sense of the world, in a radically new way. So, here's the first big clue to solving that puzzle. The sutras tell us that this trap isn't some kind of complicated intellectual thing. Nope. It's our most basic, everyday way of seeing, that mental habit of carving the world up into little boxes. This is good, this is bad, that's me, that's you. That act of separation, that is the prison.
So let's be really clear. The problem isn't knowledge itself, but a very specific type of it. The sutras draw this sharp line between what they call differentiated knowing, seeing a world of separate things, which leads to bondage, and undifferentiated knowing, which is the freedom you feel when you see the unity behind everything. It's kind of like the difference between analyzing every single brushstroke versus just stepping back and being wowed by the whole painting.
All right, so if our normal divided way of seeing the world is the trap, how do we get out? Well, the sutras suggest the answer isn't out there somewhere, but in here. They basically hand us a map of our own consciousness, showing us the three main states of experience that all of us cycle through every single day. First up is the one we all know best, the waking state, or Jagrat. This is the world as it comes to us through our senses, everything you can see, hear, touch, taste, and smell right now. Next, we have the dream state, Swapna. Now, this world isn't built from the outside in, but from the inside out. It's a reality created completely from our own thoughts, memories, and feelings. And finally, there's that mysterious state of deep, dreamless sleep, Sushuptam. This is where both the outside world and the inside world of thoughts just seem to fade away, leaving this quiet, formless void.
Okay, so think about this. We've got these three totally different states: waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. It's kind of like watching three different movies. But that brings up a really cool question. If those are the movies, then what's the screen they're all being projected on? The sutras tell us there is a single witness, a constant awareness that's there through all three states, totally unchanged. And as the text says, the person who realizes this, who experiences all three as one continuous reality, becomes the master of all energies.
And this underlying constant reality, it has a name. It's called Turiya, which literally just means the fourth. Now, this is so important. It's not another state you enter after deep sleep. It's the continuous consciousness that's present through all of them. It's the silent awareness that's still on, even when our waking mind is totally off.
You gotta love the metaphor the text uses here. Turiya isn't some separate place you go visit on vacation. It's an awareness that's always there. And our job is to expand it, like spreading oil, until it soaks into and completely pervades every single moment of our waking, dreaming, and even deep sleep. It's about pulling that background awareness right into the foreground of your life. So this is where it gets really good. What happens when someone actually realizes this fourth state? What does life look like when you live from that continuous, unified point of view all the time? I mean, just look at this transformation. It's night and day. You go from being what's called a pashu, a limited being, basically a plaything tossed around by life's ups and downs, to a virisha, a heroic yogi who becomes the player of the universe. For this person, the world is no longer a battleground, it's a playground. This state of being is called svatantriya, absolute freedom, total independence. And here's the kicker, the part that can blow your mind. The text insists this freedom isn't something you have to go out and earn. It's something you just have to recognize. It's already been achieved. It's your true nature right now. So for this yogi, the split is gone. You know how sometimes you can feel incredibly peaceful in meditation, but then the moment you open your eyes and check your phone, poof, it's gone? Well, for this person, that doesn't happen. The deep freedom they feel in meditation is the same freedom they feel in the middle of a busy street. It's constant. All right, so buckle up, because the final parts of the sutras, they describe what it's like to live in this state of freedom, and the descriptions just become absolutely cosmic.
Just let that sink in for a second. The deep joy this person feels inside isn't just a private little experience. It radiates out from them. It becomes a source of bliss for the entire universe. Their very being becomes a blessing to the world without them even trying. Now, this next part, this sounds like a straight-up superpower. And, in a way, it is. The text says a yogi in this state doesn't have to work for things or pray for them. They just infuse their will into a situation, and what they will to happen, happens. Instantly.
But it's really important to get this. It's not magic, like waving a wand. It's described as a natural result of perfect alignment. Think about it. If you genuinely experience the entire universe as your own body, then your will is no longer separate from the universe's will. Your personal intention and cosmic reality become the exact same thing.
And this might be one of the most beautiful ideas in the whole thing. In this ultimate state, every single action, no matter how small or mundane, becomes sacred. Even just talking, an ordinary conversation with a friend, is felt with the same power and holiness as reciting a sacred mantra.
And that's really the final thought these texts leave us with. It's less of an answer and more of an invitation. It asks us to stop looking for the sacred as something separate from our normal lives. It asks us to just consider, what if the divine isn't somewhere else? What if it's right here, woven into the simple, ordinary fabric of our everyday lives? What would change for you?